endless cycle. I am spinning, no rotating, no spiraling, no twisting, no spiraling. I am never stopping, and I don't know how to. My heart is tired of the constant struggle that forces to my lungs and the rest of my body daily, that it wishes to stop beating more than ever before. My lungs keep trying to keep up with my brain and its unregular motions that keep being deflated every millisecond and reinflated again and again. My liver is so tired of the over-consummation of water that it's close to drowning and collapsing like wet cardboard. And my brain is so depleted of energy that it just wishes to grab the nearest gun and pull the trigger and not miss for the 10,000th time. I'm not even a human. I don't even know what I am. What I feel is trapped. Trapped in my own prison, built inside my mind. Drowning but listening to the daily garbage, watching the regular debris go on repeat endlessly, but never respond because I don't see it fit to as always. It's such a mad world, filled with such vulgar images of anything, and dreams filled with gunshots and death be considered the best I've ever had. I don't want to change. I just wish to rot in the corner and become buried in this endless hole that is my life, and not to be touched. Never more. On that happy note, thank you very much.
To me, I heard her say, I know you're not paying attention when I see that pen moving across that page. I don't understand you. I mean, what do you have to write about anyway? How do I explain how the words make me feel? That the feelings translate in the moving of the pen? That to understand my mind, I need to see the moments in cursive form. I'm not just writing. I'm breathing, understanding, being. You need to get your head out of the books and make friends. Friends? Doesn't she know how many I have? From the crime-solving famous 5 to the magic people that live on the faraway tree. I have so many friends that I love and cherish. Yet why can she not see? Get outside, she says. Go play. Go explore. Again, dear one, why don't you know? I've been to the lands at the top of the tree. One was even covered in snow. Down the rabbit hole with Alice, where I nearly lost my head. And I flew into strange worlds on a flying bed. You are young, she says. You need to go out and have adventures. Hiding in your room is not the place to be. Oh, how I wish you would understand the gift of a book. Oh, I wish she could see. I've had so many adventures, too many to share. I have fought dragons, orcs and evil. Why doesn't she care? I've been on quests for great love, battles for freedom. I've travelled the world. Can you not see, Mum? Books are not just paper that we hold in our hands. They are places discovered, faraway lands. Words are not just things we use to say what we need. They are dreams yet to be lived, people yet to be loved, and adventures to grow from seed. You're not just a writer when you pick up a pen. You're a creator of worlds in which we can escape. We are pen-letter writers of hearts yet to love, inventors of lands we've yet to make, believer in dreams and storyteller labels, connectors of people, creators of fables. As I place down my pen, I see her smile. Oh good, you're back in our world for a while. I smile at her and say, yes, for today. But what she doesn't know is that I don't need a paper or pen to create. To keep her happy, I will go outside for a play. To dream in my head is still creating, just another way. Pick up the pen, fill up the paper. Allow your mind to create adventures for later. Pick up a book and visit faraway lands. Make friends with monsters or play in rock bands. Writing is a gift that keeps on giving. Reading is the dream so we can keep on living.
This poem was written because somebody who self-harms, you kind of see that, you know when somebody else does the same, but there's an unwritten code that you shouldn't discuss it. So this is Sixth Sense. I have a sixth sense for them now. can spot self-harm scars from a mile off. I know I shouldn't look, it's bad etiquette. An unspoken law amongst those of us in the know, but I can't help it. I have a morbid curiosity for strawberry gashes and silver thread woven through mistreated skin. My eyes wander across wounded arms, trying to read the story of pain written in scars on flesh, like Braille to the blind. My own body tells a tale in similar format. Fingertips trace every bump and age line etched by blade. Only those who have felt their message can read it on others. Thank you.
Aye. Most of us come from the black country and are proud of that. But what is going on with technology speeding so fast towards a futuristic blast of robots, automation and AI? AI rolls off the tongue, no longer sci-fi, is in so many people's vocabulary, embedding itself in our history, replacing humans at every level, having the ability to perform many tasks. But is there something that they lack? A heart, a soul, a consciousness that we humans will always possess. What we do with our creativeness, it's going to put us to the test. AI being able to draw, paint and create, AI being able to write music, sing like an artist, even sound like them, streamed more than the original artist. People wanting immediate reactions, different and quick interactions with new systems and new technology, overtaking the everyday simplicity. Wow, things have moved on. So much, it won't be very long before we can't come out of the door without using or calling on AI for directions, for the weather, for help with something or other, talking to robots as if they are present with us and are there for us like people. I know we have to move on, but I hope that we know what we've begun. We need to keep our own minds. We cannot lose ourselves, our spirits, our souls. That is something we have to keep whole.
Sometimes I go rambling, and this is called Helvellyn in October, about a walk over Helvellyn. We should take a photo for the parents, the two boys said, but the others had already sat down in the shelter. The boys were outwitted by lunch. We had the advantage of having arrived earlier and were sat in the lee side with the precipice behind us, and the southwesterly not quite biting into our gloves as our fingers huddled round coffee. We'd come up the long way round Birkhouse Moor where the foxes go, steadily climbing to Red Tarn and over Squirrel Edge, that much pointed out sliver with its rubbed clean boulders and cheap roots down below. Her mother and daughter are meeting the men who diverged to Capsty Cam and will tell them where they're going later. Meanwhile, as we go to leave Helvellyn's flat, anonymous ridge, the girls and boys gather round the trig point. Being an old codger, they asked me to take a photograph on an over-modern camera phone for the parents, I thought, who'll be tucked up in old people's world, while the kids, students at some proud universities, traipse the fells wearing a couple less layers than necessary and a couple more doses of enthusiasm and awe. My back twinged at the thought, remembering its micro-skeptomy. Coming down, I wonder, who's bombing where and whom today but the wandering passes, as other people's sorrows always do when you're concentrated on the past. The winds follow the sticks past doggedly, unrepentant at the fells that clip their brows, ranged across the October skyline in dismal browns and greys. They will brighten up in winter when the snow comes, and just as when we walked up, our fingers waken again, uncurl and throb with returning blood. We passed the short dead ski lift, a remnant of past optimism, a folly from the world below, all commerce and exchange rates and bribery with oil. It is shut and decaying, and has been for as long as we've known it. We're coming to the mine workings where iron ore was burrowed out of these hills, that not so rare metal from before the time when cathode ray tubes and iPhones tested our geologic skills to their limit. Even so, two unnatural holes, a hazard in mist, remind us that man hasn't finished with this earth yet, even if the flag heaps below have been water piped and grassed over, even if instead of industry use fossils breed in the bowl of the valley. Low cairns lead us through a debris field of top workings like a moonscape from Doctor Who. And though the path seems to go off the end, a shallow road snakes down, hidden behind a knoll, a horse and cart road now turned to boot and lecky stick. I would take a photo of Catsy Cam with a stun poking through, but my wife's phone's gone dead and mine is in my rucksack. The moment before the sky clouds over escapes everything but words. In front of us, bookended by ridges of stocky slabs, the place fell become prepossessing. Its brown heather a patchwork of lighter skin on a face of glowing brown. We're nearly home. It is 2 years since we trudged so far, what with pandemics and removals men. We passed a warm memorial patterned bronze, someone has stuck photographs, passport sized, onto crosses, dead soldiers like late flowering bluebells, wooden not blue, cruciform not cut open. In the tinkle of a boat line, the last lighted ripples of the lake stir. We wonder what's for tea in the warm hotel interior. There will be 4 choices and a menu like an election booth to hide behind. We have a time book and we'll need to get spruced up. There is a way of doing things on holiday. You see, it's like a monarch's funeral, a rigmarole for when old people meet. The parents, the slow climbers of lesser peaks, the by the side of the lake walkers. We will try to see what others are eating surreptitiously, if they have the proper clothes on, merino tops, walkers' trousers, fingers that have seen more than a steering wheel. Someone asked the waiter where he's from, originally. Ukraine, he says, and the threesome next to us, who turn out to be from Streetly earwigging as we are, smile. Do you remember that time, says the one, when you asked where the man came from, and he said, Walsall. It isn't funny, of course, this pigeonholing by those who can, but the woman seemed content with their mistake and move on to other topics. We come from Walsall too, not that it matters. Guests become anonymous in silence. It is dark now and the foxes will be out. The young people will be in a pub admiring that photograph, putting it on WhatsApp or Facebook, removing the intrusive gloved finger from the sky. The parents will be smiling somewhere in Weybridge or Cheltenham, or perhaps Ukraine. The waiter knows all the fells, all the boggy bits, all the ways up and down. He knows where you've been and where you will be going. He is tall and proud. He takes his climbing 10 steps at a time.
I didn't have a name for it for the longest time, but I just got bored of not having a name for it, called it The Whole/One the other week. So here's this one. A soul half washed in the blood of the Lamb, half held hostage in hateful sinner's hand, half black deep as the fish's womb, half grey and bent towards concrete doom, half Boanerges, a son of thunder, half rotten to cast low and under, half indecisive, half set in stone, half born to wonder, half longing for home, half broken, wayward fool, half restored with golden tools, half the hammer that drives the nail, half awake in the belly of a whale, half a cunt, half a bastard, half a story in broken plaster, half in tongues strange and new, half in riddles, half untrue, half on unfurling chaos comes, half the crow thrice calls the sun, half a carrion bold in flight, half Sisyphean, no end in sight, half the summer wasted years, half refined in pointless tears, half designed for times long gone, half in the grave still clinging on, half so pointless and worthy of mention, half good half good ideas, half bad intention, half in heaven, half in hell, half between, unable to tell.
This one is not a poem. Here are some words for your eyes and ears. Here is how social media appears after years. Looking at my friends list, checking on the names I've seen but don't remember, seeing no messages between us, seeing nothing beyond well wishes on your birthdays for the last few years on your wall. Maybe There was a like after the first hi, but that's all. There's no tax we can travel. No baggage for collection, and on reflection, that could be a good thing. You living in sync with the music without algorithm. Maybe you're producing a fruitful orchestra that you share with geography and time, and maybe these words that are framed for what's missing in mind. This is not a poem. These are words that met along the way and smiled at each other for a season. Maybe we met in a class, or an office, or even over a drink, and maybe, just maybe, I'd love to hear from you. Maybe our clique wasn't intended to be a clique. Are we really friends anyway? Are we thumb-tapping numbed actors? Are we non-binary badges of pride in festivals powered by batteries of capitalist hoodoo? Are we branded by our boohoo and soul glue to decorate our echo chambers? Age does something to you. So does the platform. When you're 5 or 10 years deep and some are 6 feet under, you wonder what it's all for. Catch up, repeat the program when you're bored. So will all be archived? Is your book to be taken off my shelf? Would you notice? Maybe I don't like the silence. Maybe you're the icon I want in my emojis. Maybe the real postal strike is not hearts on quotes. Maybe our calling and election is not thumbs up votes and view counts. If we canvass our insecurities, we only draw doubts. Maybe we strike harder if we do without it. Maybe I miss you. Maybe we misused our moment, and the greatest trophy we could say we took a photo of was mutual respect to the expressive human being. Maybe the best vaccine is what we inject for connection, and some of us have different providers. Does me reading your life make me a business insider? If there's no new editions of you for me to like, should I unsubscribe? They say we had more freedom when phones were wired. The same people say music has lost its purpose and value even though they've been handed greater access. But since we're wireless now, are we contactless and seeking to pull cards rather than being banked on for balance? If we suddenly lost power, would we lose power or just our minds? Is this the grand design? To know, but not really? Do friends want your address so they can really see you? Maybe these words sound alike. The way we look and like, or look alike for the boxes we thumb. Maybe this is your heart seeing itself, and a hello or goodbye for someone. Ultimately, this is not a poem.
Did you see them orcas gliding through the ocean? Everywhere they go, they cause a real commotion, because all the other creatures know they're just looking for a meal. And if you were the potential breakfast, just think how you'd feel. Then, round a rocky corner, they find a baby seal. In the blink of an eye, the orca struck with deadly aim and threw the lifeless body about as if it was just a game. Mind, they are called killer whales, so I suppose the clue is in the name. Did you see that little dormouse nesting in a tree? She got 3 baby dormice, so she pops out to get their tea. And all of a sudden, out of the night, a great big owl appears. He's looking for a late night snack. It can only end in tears. But no, the dormouse gets away and returns to her nest with a feast. And the dormouse family is safe and sound for one more night at least. Did you see the puffins with a beak full of fish? Bringing it back to their puffin chicks, because that's their favourite only dish. But while they're minding their own business, going about their parental tasks, they're mugged for their fish by a gang of seagulls wearing sinister black masks. Now this, I thought, is a sign of our time. Birds involved in organised crime. So, what lessons can we learn? What conclusions can we draw? by watching Mother Nature red in tooth and claw. That nature's cruel and violent, well, we knew all that before. Don't condemn the harsh brutality, their casual abuses. The only difference with humans is we know how to make the excuses. Yeah.